before we do it, because I know once I give it to Jess, it's gonna go fast forward. I believe I believe JJ is gonna do the same thing because he said he got some shit to get off his chest. So I'm just gonna say my real quick part. I'm cool until we get to episode 9 because he's a episode 8 to me was like whatever. Like it was a filler for me. But
You already know what it is.
you already know what it is. You know what I mean? Don't get scared. We're supposed to have 4, but we got 3. If in typical geeked out fashion, that's what it is. We're always missing somebody. So I believe my sister Bunni is gonna do her own shit with her hubby on her reality TV with Bunni, so you can catch her reaction. Rook's probably asleep, so it is what it is. But obviously we got Jess here. We got my man JJ here. So you see it. You see it in the background. You see in the thumbnail. Spoilers is coming. So if you haven't watched Stranger Things yet, click off now. Come back later. If you have, you're gonna be in for a treat. We're gonna talk about what we talk about. Before we do that, make sure you subscribe because it's on the new channel. So make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button. Get the merch. Join our other shit. We got Geeked Out with JJ. We got some new anime shit coming with JJ and Kenny. We're trying to get Jess to do something. So eventually she'll do something, and she'll have her own shit here too. Never know. But 3 of us is here. We watched it. It's crazy. Y'all should know. So, before we do it, because I know once I give it to Jess, it's gonna go fast forward. I believe I believe JJ is gonna do the same thing because he said he got some shit to get off his chest. So I'm just gonna say my real quick part. I'm cool until we get to episode 9 because episode 8 to me was like whatever. Like it was a filler for me. But JJ, since you're making that reaction, go ahead.
I mean, all right. So, in relation to episode 9, yes, 8 wasn't as high stakes, but 8 had a lot of pieces that we needed. You can't call it filler. 11 finally got to where she had to be. Papa dead,
closure.
Yeah, but she should have killed Papa.
Nah. Listen, I get why. I get why you say that, but going down to the level of the monster isn't what you do for a character who's supposed to be the good one.
Ladies,
and you're giving her too much.
Hold on, ladies. If you're
giving her too much bread.
If you're watching this, please go ahead and slide in JJ's DMs. He's a good guy. Go ahead, JJ. Keep going.
I think the way it happened was good because 11 obviously had not forgiven her this dude yet, and now he's gone, right? So you give her this turmoil that's like, she's not the one that did it, but she doesn't know how to feel about it happening. Because not like she hates him, she's disgusted by his acts. So you just added a whole new sheet over her in terms of character development, which I think is going to translate great into the next season. Because obviously, homeboy, Vecna, they have a relationship with this dude, and to see how they're both going to react differently to it, I think it's gonna play out really well.
All right, so that's all you have for episode 8.
Like I said, episode 8. I liked episode 8. I thought it was a great cliffhanger, and the way it ended with that rendition to Journey in Separate Ways, it got my blood boiling for the episode 9.
All right, Jess, episode 8.
Let's talk about that because
I
was hearing it on 8. Mm-hmm. On 8. Throughout the episode, and I'm like a music nerd, okay? But I was hearing it. The people who score this thing, I mean, I just think that they're brilliant. And that you could really, and I thought I heard it earlier in the episode. I was hearing it kind of like thumping up underneath some of what was happening. And I was like, is that? And then I was kind of like, no, they couldn't be doing that. And then as that episode was coming to a helm, the separate ways came up on top of the track instead of up underneath. And I was just like, no. So I really think what they've done with music in this season, especially, has been really, really great. I loved that. And it really did make everything kind of come to a helm. As far as 11 and Papa, Dr. Brenner, is concerned, I thought what was the most powerful was, so at the end of that episode, you know, he does get shot down by that helicopter, and she does go to him and she's holding his hand and all that stuff. And he's asking this of her, right? To tell her that tell him that she understands, and, you know, basically to make him feel validated and to feel good about what he's done at the end of his life now. And she stays completely silent and puts his hand down. And she didn't have to do or say anything. She didn't have to kill him. He was already dying. And the last thing he got from her was nothing, which is exactly what she should have done. You know what I'm saying? Because she gave him nothing. She didn't give him the satisfaction in death of saying that she understood why he did what he did. She was basically like, merp, fuck you, without having to be like, fuck you. You know, that's kind of how I took that anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
So before we jump to 9, if that's where you're going, to piggyback off what you said with the music, because the music is great. I get a lot of slack for this in the group chat, but I'm gonna say it again. Miss Marvel, their soundtrack is amazing.
It is good.
Whoever's doing the music over there, Miss Marvel, is amazing.
Wrong show, man.
I don't give a shit.
But we're not talking about that right now. Why are you sidebarring us?
We're going back. We're going back. 9.
Wrong show, man.
9. Just take the lead, JJ, and then I'll wrap it up.
Okay, so when we leave episode 8, everything is kind of coming to that place. Like what I said, everything's kind of coming to a head. You know, Mike, also, we didn't talk about the fact that, you know, she got her reuniting with Mike. We're also skipping over I'm sorry, we can't go into 9 yet because we need to talk about that scene in the van with Mike and Will and Jonathan driving that van.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe we just didn't touch that because I feel like it was super important. And, you know, sweet Will is still trying to, you know, help his friends and make them rally. We finally get to see what's on the paper, on the painting that this poor sweet boy has been carrying this whole time. We finally get to see it.
I'm glad you brought it back though, because that is very important for what I think season 5 is going to be. But go ahead.
Yes. So, you know, we've got Will, right? And we've got this, we finally get to see the painting, and he's basically telling Mike how much Elle needs him, but it is paralleling how he feels about Mike as well. You're getting those feelings of love that obviously are coming from more than just a platonic place. And I think that you're watching this go on, and Jonathan is in the front driving, and he's realizing it, seeing it, and kind of getting that whole, like, how did I miss this? Like, you can see it like in his face, like, how did I miss that? This is why my brother was hurting. Like you know, he hasn't been around because he was away at school, and Will's got all this, you know, stuff built up, and he loves Elle and he loves Mike, but he also like loves Mike. But I think the way they did that was really smart because of the time period that they're in. You know, things like that weren't as accepted, you know, it wasn't as in the forefront. The same thing with Robin and the love that she has for, I don't remember her name. That's that girl that actually looks a lot like the girl from 16 Candles. But anyway, she does. She looks just like her. What's her name?
Molly?
Everyone's going to chastise me for not knowing.
Oh, in the show? I don't know.
Can't remember.
But anyhow, I like how they bring those, how they're bringing in those feelings, but still doing it so it makes sense in the time period. Do you know what I mean? Which I thought was really interesting, you know, and that's why it's so much more hurtful, you know, because he can't say how he feels because he's afraid everyone's going to like reject him, you know? So I think that was a really pivotal point for Will, you know, to kind of get those feelings out, and the fact that he had to lie about it. And when that sweet little boy turned and he was like crying in the window, I was like, oh! It was so sad. I was like, this poor baby. But anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Did you guys have any thoughts on that at all? Since we didn't talk about it,
I have thoughts on it, but it's going to be for the next season. But go ahead, JJ.
I'm just glad they finally touched on it because the entire like first 7 episodes, I'm like, all right, is this what they're gearing? Like, is this it? Is Will, is this our character? Like, I want some confirmation. Like, I want to know if my suspicions are correct, and I'm glad that they finally did it because it makes a lot of other things make sense now.
Yeah,
I didn't catch that. I just thought, he's a young kid. You know how kids are with friends; they're like territorial. He was mad because 11 was taking away his best friend. Now he didn't have a girl, so he didn't have nowhere to go. That's how I took it. But I mean, it does make sense with what y'all saying.
Yeah, I mean, we had that girl in the class like trying to play footsies with him, and he was like, "Hey, yo, get up off me right now," like.
Yeah, he wasn't interested
at all.
But it makes more sense now why he wasn't interested. You know what I'm saying? But
I like this. Y'all two really pay attention to details.
Listen, he wasn't even willing to pretend.
No, he was just like, no.
He was like, no, this ain't me. Get your feet up off me, girl.
Remember the dance scene and at the snowball? I'd be interested to go back over that and watch that again and look at the body language and see what we missed there. Because I bet you
down for that.
I bet you there's some stuff there too.
Yeah.
In that episode.
All right, so 9. JJ. Try to speed up because I know JJ got to go.
All right, so episode 9. All right, this episode got me so in touch with so many different feelings that I had to go ahead and make
ready.
I don't think anyone should have been ready. All right, I made a yearbook superlative list for this thing. That's how into this episode I was. All right, but I will say my favorite scene, obviously, and it's not gonna be like the obvious ones, like at the end, like the heartfelt, like heart jerk, and I appreciated them all. But my favorite scene that really got my skin in the bumpiest of the goose's way is the Metallica just on top of the RV. Just, oh my goodness. I couldn't believe they did it.
Master of Puppets.
It was the perfect song for the perfect scene. And I couldn't believe it. And it was great. And everything around Eddie for episode 9 just really solidified Eddie as one of the characters I'm just so sad, about. Obviously, we had Friendly Bob in that in like season 2, and it's ugly, we loved him, but Eddie had a different like feel to him, and just he had so much character development in just one season, a whole redemption arc.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hurt to see it happen, and I think him doing what he did was amazing. I think it was the way to go. I'm sad he's what happened, but I think it happened the right way. And the other scene that I still can't stop thinking about, and I want to rewatch it right now, is Hopper versus that Demogorgon.
Hell yes, JJ. Yes.
That was badass moment of the movie for me. That was badass moment. That was great. I couldn't believe. I still can't believe. I want to watch it right now.
I don't know why, but when he picked up that sword, I just flash forwarded to when he was in Black Widow.
Oh my God, you would. No,
but it was
legit. When that dude picked up that friggin' medieval sword and went to battle against that Demogorgon, I was like, what?
Man, he was doing his thing too. And like we said, the score of the show, because everything was now coming to a head. Like everything had just been so bleak, and everything just became right. Everything's now picking up. The heroes are finally getting the upper hand, and just to see that as the climax, there was no other way to do it.
Because when it's happening, one is telling 11, "You already lost. Like it's over," and then all that shit is happening.
Everyone was taking an L so bad. Not one person wasn't. Lucas was getting creamed. What's it called? Max, obviously in the worst place possible. 11 was not doing great. Everyone was on the brink of death. Everybody.
Let me ask you a question. Like before Jess talks about what she like. For a moment, with all the hype of them saying that people were gonna die and there was gonna be a lot of deaths, at one point did you guys think, yo, they might just kill everybody right now?
I honestly thought that we might get like an Infinity War ending where the villain wins. Right? I really thought, but then I remember that this isn't the last season, so there's no way.
Mhm.
Right? So those protected characters. Like obviously everyone thought Steve was gonna die. Thank goodness he didn't. But but Dustin can't die. At least not unless it's like the season, like the series finale. But you can't kill off Dustin if you have more show left. He's the heart and soul of the show.
Okay. Well, 9.
They didn't know.
Jess, what do you think about 9? Because I know you didn't like the Eddie dying scene.
Well, okay. So there was a few things. This is going to be an unpopular opinion, maybe. I think that Eddie's death, he died in vain. It was not smart. This poor sweet boy, right? This guy. Listen, I'm sorry, but look, the one time that motherfucker was supposed to bounce, he doesn't, and he runs into danger for no reason. This bastard could still be alive. No, let me tell you why. Those motherfucking bats were not going to get up through that thing. They would have both gone up there, closed it up. Everybody was already where they needed to be, and it didn't stop anything. Elle had him on the ropes after that. They didn't need that time. Eddie could have survived, and we never would have had to have been heartbroken, and he could have been playing that guitar again in season 5. You want to kill him off in 5? Fine. But he did not need to die. He did not need to go in season 9. I'm sorry.
I'll tag JJ. I'll tag.
I'm pressing the rebuttal button. I don't think that's why I don't think he was trying to prevent the bats from going up the portal. I think he felt that if they had left that too soon and the bats got back to the house, the entire plan would have been for nothing. And maybe he was right, because if those bats had went back, those people that were getting strangled by the vines, they were going to get their face eaten off. So he felt that he had
the house. How would the bats get in?
Same way the bats got in the RV. They'll find open windows, open doors. They'll find a way to get in. All I know is he spent almost the entire show being Eddie the coward. And he decided that, you know what? I'm going to go as Eddie the hero. And that's exactly what he did. Because the only time I really cried in this episode was when Dustin was talking to his uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was heartbreaking. Yes.
It broke my heart in the best of ways. Like, this is what a show should do. And how they played Eddie, although it sucks, it is the exact way you do it to make someone emotionally invested and crushed at the same time.
He could have lived.
All right, so
everyone could have lived.
Dirty. That's the only reason why I'm upset, is that I feel like he could have lived a little bit longer. Maybe.
I'm going to be the tiebreaker. I told Jess in a separate text, I believe what JJ said. He always thought he was a coward. He always thought he was running, and he literally says to Dustin, "I didn't run this time." So that was his whole. Yeah. That was his whole thing.
Oh, that gave me goosebumps, man.
But he ran into stupid danger, y'all.
I mean,
why did he do that?
How many times do we see heroes do dumb shit anyway?
I don't like it. I wanted him to live, and that's the only reason why I'm salty, y'all. That's it. I'm salty because I wanted him to live.
So I loved it. To the part that I wasn't ready for, Max, because I let you guys the internet fuck me over, because you guys were acting like Max was untouchable. So I believed that in my heart, and then when it was happening, and I was like, "Yo, you taking Max after Billy? Like, come on, you can't do that to me." And you see where she is now.
My daughter was really upset. She loves Maxine, and she was just like, "Mom, no, they can't do that." And I was like, "Oh God, bones are breaking." And then, Elle ends up bringing her back. But did you notice she can't find her? Where is she? I think that she did something she wasn't supposed to do, and Max ain't in there. Like, but she doesn't have like a breathing machine on. She just has some oxygen, so she's alive. But where is she?
I think Max consciousness is in the upside down.
You think?
I think it's left there with Vecna. And I think when we see her, it's maybe like a supernatural situation where her soul is just like so twisted, like beyond repair.
Maybe she's hiding too, because if she's dead, that's what stopped all of that what they said was an earthquake, but that's what stopped all of those gates from opening. Is Elle brought Max back to life. So as long as Max is breathing, it's keeping the Upside Down at bay. But you know what I'm saying? Something's going to happen because it's coming, right? It's coming. I just have to say, Steve Harrington is alive, and I'm so happy. Oh, I'm so happy. I hate that we had to lose Eddie, but I am so happy.
With that being said, let's go ahead to season 5 predictions real quick before we go. Steve's gonna die. You know why?
No.
You know why he's gonna die? Because 1, I don't like him. 2,
blasphemer.
Oh, you know what? He's not gonna die. I take that back. He's not gonna die. Who's damn it, I take that back. He's gonna live and I hate it. Who's Nancy's boyfriend?
Jonathan.
He's gonna die.
I know.
I agree with that.
You're gonna die for many reasons. 1, because obviously they're plotting the Nancy Steve thing so they can get back together. How they gonna do it when John's still alive? He's gonna die. That's 1. 2.
No. That's not a good reason because they're gonna break up anyway. Jonathan's been lying to her all season about.
He doesn't want to be with her anymore. He wanted to break up with her. He told Argyle.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. They don't need him to die for that.
Let me give my reason 2. I still think it's 1, but 2, because I believe Will is gonna host 1 or whatever that whole shit is. That's gonna happen because he's lose
attached to them somehow.
He's gonna lose everything, and then that's it. It's go time.
I can see that.
That's my prediction.
And I think that it makes sense because his heart is open, a little bit broken, and he's sad on the inside. He's got a lot of internal turmoil, especially now with the whole Mike thing with Elle, and obviously realizing that his feelings are not, felt reciprocated. So he's definitely open for a re-up with the Mind Flayer or 1 or something.
All right, so to end it, JJ, give me your predictions and who do you think is going to actually die in the end of it?
I think Will dies. I think Will lays his life on the line for his friend. I think Mike is about to die, and I think Will looks him in the eye, says, "You're the heart of this group," and gives his life for him.
So you think only one person is going to die in the end?
I don't think Stranger Things is a Game of Thrones type of show where they're gonna massacre everyone. Like look who they killed off this season. It was a character that we got introduced to this season, right? And the only other character that almost died was someone we got introduced to last season. The main core, right? You might get one death out of them, but this show's not gonna just kill off a bunch of them. I don't think that's what the ending we're looking at.
Interesting. Jess, who do you think gonna
die? I definitely think there is room for some more people to go. We've got, you've got people like the Soviet guy who's buddies now with Hopper that took them down. There's definitely, I agree in the sense that a lot of the main group, we won't lose too many of them, but there's a lot of those little sub areas of people where there could still be mega carnage in season 5. There's still plenty of people to lose. You've got Murray, that might end up doing the whole, my son thinks that in season 5, he's going to end up doing that whole thing again with my fists are like, iron and, that whole Taekwondo thing and end up like dying, but doing something like super epic like that. But I mean, I think that we've got an issue between Will and Jonathan. I'm not sure which one, but one of them is definitely going, for sure. And, it could also end up being that maybe they go really obscure and we lose someone like Mike or Nancy, one of them. I don't think that they'll do that. I have a feeling that Nancy and Steve get their RV with kids at the end of this thing. That's just my.
I think we don't because how sweet it is. I think if Stranger Things wants to be that dark show, they're not gonna give it to us. I don't know. I think I can see Steve laying, giving it all for it. Because he's done it before. He's risked his life.
So you guys think Max is gonna survive?
Max?
No.
Because you guys didn't mention.
I think that's why that it's all that stuff is starting to come back in. Why is all that stuff coming back in? I think we're losing Max. She couldn't find her, and all of that upside down is starting to like creep in again. I think we're going to lose Maxine, and that's what's going to open everything up. And then they're going to have to close those gates. And I think that 11 might not make it either.
I can see 11 9, but I think Max is actually probably going to live, probably come back. I think John's going to die. I could see Will dying, like you said, giving it all up at the end. Like after all this shit happens, he realizes what's going on. He takes his body back over. He's like, nah, I can't do this to my friends, blah, blah, blah. So he dies. I can see that. I can see what Jess said. Hopper's two little friends, they could be dying. Buddy with the glasses and Buddy from Game of Thrones, both of them could die. Main people, there's got to be a main person to go. Besides John, there's got to be a main person to go. So whether it's 11, I'd really hope it's Steve, but whether it's Steve, Nancy, 11, Lucas, like a main person's got to go. I'll let you guys in the comments say who you think it is, but I know a main person, like a main person has to die. Yeah. Especially unless the directors are fucking with us, but they've said like it's gonna get gruesome. Like you guys get ready.
Hey, we're here for it.
But that is our review. If you agree, put it in the comments. Say we rock and we all that. If you don't, you can say you don't like us either. That's cool. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Put in the comments if you like the show. If you don't, we got some other shows you could watch. But as always, be yourself.